Hey, how's it going? It's Harris, founder of Open Rates Only. In this video, primarily, I'm going to talk about copywriting frameworks, what's the best frameworks to use in basically every situation, talk about this brand For Patriots, which has absolutely nailed direct response branded plain text copywriting. And I'm going to kind of go into it, how you can use their kind of strategy in your email marketing and how we actually use it in ours. And I want to talk a little bit also about breaking that myth that thinking that design is everything versus when copy in reality is everything. Awesome. Let's get right into this. So first things first, plain text versus design. Do you need design? Do you need plain text? Do you need good copy? Does it actually matter? Can I just use fun designed emails? Well, the reality is you need to have a mixture of killer designs and a mixture of killer copy. You can also just have killer copy. So the reason being is people are actually reading your emails. They are reading every word you put on the page. With that being said, in tandem, they are seeing all the designs that you have. So you cannot have ugly designs, but you can also not have ugly copy. They go hand in hand. To kind of prove this concept this is an 8-figure brand that we're currently working with, and we literally 6x'd their welcome flow revenue because we used branded plain text. We had a beautiful designed email that we created back in October, and we're still using this welcome email strategy now, just on a different flow. But with that being said, is this email right here is a branded plain text email. Obviously, I'm not going to show it to you, show you the entire strategy, but keep in mind, this basically means the customer is going to read your entire email and be more influenced to actually buy. Funny enough, in this email, we don't actually talk anything about the product, but what the product will do for them, how the product will help them in XY scenario, what benefits do they get from using the product versus, hey, our product has, 10,000 plus videos, it has the best features. No one really cares about that. They care about how it impacts them when they read it. So that's something to keep in mind. But you'll see here $70,000 in the last 23 to 27, so 4 to 5-ish days versus when we used to have a beautifully designed email with the same exact copy. Keep in mind, we A/B tested it with the same exact copy, come to realize that this revenue was generating up to $15,000. So we're on a 6x of welcome flow revenue in the same time span. It is more important than ever to have a good copywriter within your email system. I guarantee you it does matter. So really do not try to stick with somebody who has crazy designs but has no idea how to write copy. I guarantee you, you will be left behind and you will not be generating as much revenue as you should be. Cool. Let's go into this right here. I'm going to go into my notes to kind of talk a little bit about copywriting structures and why this email is so good. So what this email is doing is it starts off with imagine this. So imagining a situation right off the bat is something that a lot of people don't actually do. They kind of just go into, hey, we're having a sale, $200 off. They have one fun, line of copy, but they don't actually touch on those pain points. They don't kind of touch on the emotion of the customer avatar. You'll notice that this brand is especially good at dissecting who the customer is. When you're writing copy, you have to be writing to one specific person that you're thinking about, that niche of people, whether it's the age group between 40 and 70 and they all like Trump, or they're super inclined to diets. Every single niche matters, and it might be funny to kind of say these things, but this is the reality of copy. You want to touch on their pain points and make them feel like they can relate, because once they know that they can relate and they start to read all your copy, then they will make their first purchase, they'll make their second purchase, and they will be, a brand advocate. And now you can get away with, you have brands like Nike, Lululemon who do not do this, but again, their product is king. They've built a brand over the years, and you may not have realized, but they did use direct response copy, just not as intense as this. But this is the new era of 2024 email marketing. Nobody else will be doing this, and I guarantee you, if you start doing things like this, you will kill it. You will crush it. Funny enough, we are doing the same exact strategy for an 8-figure brand. Every single email does around 40 to 70K every single day. But again, we do mix branded plain text, fun designs, educational content, and things like that to really move the needle on the campaign side. But getting into this, that was a mouthful. You'll see, imagine this. The power goes out, your phone has an 18% charge, you just went to the grocery store and have a full fridge of food. Great, right? For most of us, not having power for a few hours would be inconvenient at most. But if you're looking at days, weeks, or even longer, it's considered a state of emergency. It's becoming more and more obvious that our electrical grid is failing and vulnerable. Last year it was reported that 36.7% million Americans had some sort of outage, and it's only getting worse. So you'll notice what he did here is so this is a copywriting framework that he probably used, picture, promise. So he used the picture. Imagine this, your phone only has 18% charge, kind of lists a fun little story to engage the customer to keep reading, and then saying kind of the promise that it has is, it could be inconvenient at most for just a couple hours, but if we're looking at days, weeks, or even longer in a state of emergency, you kind of put that into their head, kind of add a problem that they might have not thought of or they are currently thinking of. Now, there are so many people in this niche that absolutely love this kind of bunker attitude where they want to have all the safety. Even every American kind of fit into this niche, but there's this one niche of people that this brand is where people don't trust the government, so to say. And if they do trust the government, they know that something dangerous could happen at any time and they want to be prepared. And that sort of niche of people want to make sure they are prepared for when the power goes out, when it's ground zero, when the aliens attack XYZ. It's really important to write copy towards this niche of people, and how they're doing it is they're picturing, imagine this, promising that, but it could be a state of emergency if you have days, weeks, or even longer. And he kind of does more of a picture problem. This works as well. And then he proves it. This is really important. Prove. I'm actually going to put problem. I kind of like how he approached that. Prove 37% of Americans have some sort of outage, and it's only getting worse. So now he's really kind of doubled down on that power outage angle, and then push. Well, there's a solution. It's called Patriot Power Generator. This lightweight XYZ, power up your fridge, space heater, CTA. Killer topiful to kind of get them to sell the click or get them interested to keep reading. Now we can keep going here. Hey Insider, you know the feeling, and it's a bad one. When suddenly everything in the house goes silent and dark, power's out. Now, I don't know about you, but my first thought is always, okay, well, how long will this last? Few minutes, hours, days, weeks, regardless of the duration. Most people immediately head towards the kitchen to save the food left in the refrigerator and freezer. You see, according to U.S. Department of Agriculture, anything left in under for 4 hours at temperatures below 40, foodborne bacteria, and this is just another amazing way, I really love how he's doing this, is picturing problem, I don't know about you, prove 4 hours, and then of course buy. Well, but what if you come home with a fire and don't know how it's smart? Well, then we use this easy 25-cent hack, and just an amazing kind of what this brand does is advertorial. So you'll see when I click here, it looks like they didn't actually use it here, but 25% hack, selling a generator. And then of course, this is their advertorial, absolutely just killer email system. You can keep reading this. Well, we found an easy 25% hack that easily solves that problem. Of course, the best way to be prepared for a power outage is to have a fully charged generator ready to go. So our top recommended here, 2-year survival, Frank Bates. And of course, they have the blogs where you can kind of keep reading through and purchase. You can see here, which is something that's really interesting, is there's no beautiful design. There's no, very e-com friendly copy that doesn't really have an angle, isn't really talking towards anybody, but just like, hey, the holidays are here. Some kind of corny line would kind of go here. The holidays are here. Don't forget to buy our generators for more cheer. That's the kind of current state of e-com emails that you're receiving. Not really touching the customer, not really kind of engaging the customer, not letting them read. When people want to read, they want to understand what your product is, how it can help them, but the ways you do that is through this kind of direct response angle. And you might be thinking, oh, I'm not sure I can do that for my brand. And you're right. You have to make sure that your product actually solves a problem. You don't want to go too far in the direct response deep end. You have to have a happy medium. This brand especially can kind of get away with, branded plain text for every single email. Why? Because they've built up a following. They've built up that kind of, brand image of this kind of angle. They want to save people. It's for patriots. They want this niche to read and kind of be educated over and over again. And for some brands, this is not going to work. Again, if you sell clothes, you definitely do not want to send branded plain text emails. But if your product does solve a problem, you can do this. And it's really important. You might be thinking, nah, my product won't be able to do this. We do it for basically every brand that we currently work with. And some of them range from, workwear to watches to, fitness equipment. It really does just, depend on, are you able to write copy? Are you able to come up with unique angles, unique mechanisms to kind of get this customer to purchase? It's super important. You can see that they really just continually create angles. That's the beauty of copywriting. That's what people aren't doing. And this is really how you move the needle in your campaign or flow system. So we're going to talk about more copywriting angles and just kind of go through and tell you a little bit more about it. And we can go through any of their emails, your water supply. So, and they always have a question to kind of hook you in. Cook food without electricity. So now you're thinking, okay, I need to actually read this. You can cook food without electricity? No way. Now more than ever, Americans realize that you have to, realize the need to have an electricity free to cook food and boil water. That's why we created this incredible gadget, the Sun Kettle, this revolutionary personal. Plus it does. So this is more of kind of just go straight into it. And if we look at some of the copywriting frameworks above, so we'll see here, more of just like a pass or ADA kind of setup here. So attention, interest, kind of just attacking instantly. And this is a good way of doing it as well. There are multiple copywriting frameworks you should use, but funny enough, sticking to a framework is actually very important. Very, very important, because these have been tested millions of times by old school direct response copywriters and even new copywriters who get in the game, go on ClickBank and have $1 million a month products that are just these long form copywriting frameworks that tap into people's emotions, their ethos, their logos, their pathos, and get them to make their first purchase, get them to kind of trust the product, feel like someone is relating with them, and then making them make their first purchase. So super important. An amazing job by 4 Patriots. They really do understand what copy is, why it matters, and how to get someone to make their first, second, third, or even fourth purchase. So again, I'm going to break down some of these frameworks here. You'll see pass, pain, agitate, solution. Pain, looking for a holiday gift. Usually you want to kind of narrow down though. So when you write these frameworks, when you think about these frameworks, you have to think about a couple things. What's the customer avatar? We can make up any single brand here. Let's say we are selling a ping pong table. You could kind of go into this kind of setup right here. So ping pong table, pain, agitate, solution. Let's say we're selling for a sale that's going on. Don't just shove the CTA top of fold and say 20% off. Yes, that could work in some scenarios, but just give them a small body of copy. I will guarantee you that adding that body of copy will increase conversion. So pain, looking for usually people who are buying ping pong tables are probably surprisingly an older age group, because you're not going to have a kid buying a ping pong table. You're going to have someone between the ages probably of 40 and 60 who want something for their kids. That would just make the most sense. So again, looking for a fun activity. Of course, this is pretty surface level and it's not going to be intense, but looking for a fun activity to get closer with your kids. Something along those lines. Obviously, you wouldn't use that exact line and then kind of go into the agitate. It's tough with our everyday phones. They're all, the kids are always on their phones. You can kind of go into the pain of not really being able to connect with your kids. You want to connect with your kids more and have a fun way to do it. Solution, ping pong table solution. Our ping pong table lets you rekindle with your kids and have a great time while doing it. Obviously, I kind of set up the outline for it. Obviously, you'd have to make it not sound as direct response-y and kind of make it more fun and leveraging on those pain points. And then you have pass off, so problem, agitate, solution, outcome, problem. You usually do this for more direct response-y type emails to kind of get them on the hook. So problem, agitate, solution, you copy that format, then outcome, and then problem again. And then when they read the next email, they can be sold to there. So PPP, pick, promise, or pick, problem, prove, push. Amazing way to do it. Imagine this. Give them a promise or a problem that kind of instills in their brain. Prove it, drop a fact, push. And then this one's pretty good as well. Passy, WTB, problem, agitate, solution, introduction, why, try, and buy. This would be more long form, and this actually kills with one of our products for fitness. It's a fitness brand that we use this for, and it's branded plain text. I think that copywriting and using these frameworks or using any sort of frameworks will undoubtedly increase your conversions. Undoubtedly. There's a reason why people constantly A/B test Facebook ads, constantly A/B test Google ads, and just a small line of copy switch or design copy switch can significantly increase your conversions for that Facebook ad. And it's the same sort of deal with email. So yes, you could have an in-house team that gives you subpar results. You're sitting around 20 to 25% Klaviyo attributed revenue. Sure, you could get away with that. That's fine. But if you hire a real team, you hire people like us, we'll hit 30, we'll hit 35, we'll hit 40% month over month. And that's the results you need to be getting, especially coming into 2024. It's a new way of doing email marketing. Every single brand now does have beautifully designed emails. They do have kind of e-com fun, friendly, brandy copy that you can get away with, but it's not going to move the needle like this. It's not going to move the needle like using this. So using these frameworks, using these, this pathos, this logos, this ethos, when you run through your copy, is it actually tapping into your emotions? Is it logical? Is it, ethical? When you actually do have a full funneled email system that taps into direct response copywriting, fun, actually good, branded design, but also you want to make sure that your offer is good and your pop-up offer is good, you will have a full funnel that absolutely dominates. So when you leave this today, you watch this video, you want to know a couple of things. One, copy does matter. If any agency or any in-house team says that the words on the page don't matter, they're absolutely wrong. We've proved it right here. We've proved it multiple times. So copy matters. It's your highest needle moving thing, guaranteed, behind your offer. And if you don't have an offer ever, and for some of our brands, we don't actually have that offer, continuous offer, we just focus on the copy, because again, copy is going to convert somebody. Think about it this way. When someone signs up to your email list and you shove a CTA top of fold, they're basically just clicking your email to go back to the website. So think about that for a second. In some scenarios, yes, put the CTA top of fold, it will actually outperform. But you want to A/B test everything. Think about that for a second. You are shoving the CTA top of fold. They click, they go to your website, and now they're back to where they just were. Why not let them read a little bit more, influence them using direct response tactics, then force the CTA, then let them click, then let them go to the website. Now they have a different tune on how they are approaching your website. Every single little word matters. More is usually better in this scenario. People like to say less is more. More is usually better. You can see here, this brand only sends branded plain text emails. They're long form, they're fun, and people are reading them. People are selling. They have probably one of the best email systems I've ever seen, just from the way they approach this. They really have a top of fold area, an explanation area, and then of course they have kind of these advertorials that absolutely crush. So just something to think about when you are, whether you're in-house, CMO, CEO, and you're writing your next email, writing your next campaign. You need to kind of ask yourself a couple of things. Is there one idea? Is there a copywriting framework? Is there decent enough design? And is there an offer behind it? Because you can't just send blindless emails. You have to have a meaningful approach behind every single email. Every email has an impact within your brand, and there's a way that you can seriously increase your revenue if you take these things seriously. But awesome. I'm going to talk a little bit more about frameworks in another day, but I wanted to kind of just drop this, and hopefully you can learn a little bit more about direct response and how you can use it for your e-com brand. Again, if you're interested, you want to let pros run your email system, book a call below, and we will be waiting. Cheers. Thank you so much.